Bungie. I did a video before, and we discussed how they were all in on social justice and definitely what's happened recently with the leak of the Supreme Court ruling, supposedly of potentially, let's say that, overturning Roe v. Wade. And they have taken it among themselves, which I think is a trend that started around 2020, where you had so many corporations that had nothing to do, let's say, with what's happening in the political arena. They have now decided that they are going to be taking the spots or the sides of in political areas, even though no matter how divisive it is. I think it really speaks to how cocky a lot of these people in the industry have gotten, because they think there's going to be zero economic consequences to what it is that they do. So if they can say basically fuck half of the country, they'll say it because they look at it like, well, half the country isn't going to stop buying our products. Bungie CEO, I'm reading this from Boutigan and Comics. Pete Parsons refuted the idea that the company will be muzzled when it comes to promoting abortion after the company's fully acquired by PlayStation. So we covered Bungie taking a position before, but obviously with them, people think, well, is it going to be some sort of issues with them now being bought out by PlayStation? And if you remember, Sony right now is having its own issues because Jim Ryan is the one person in the video industry, he's the president of PlayStation, that said, look, it is important that everybody in this that works for this company respects each other's disagreements and positions. It was basically a neutral position on the ruling, acknowledging the fact that there are going to be people that are on either sides of this issue. Remember, this was the industry standard, if you will. This is how most businesses in that aspect, definitely in the video game industry, this is their approach. It was not, you don't take a side. It's more, we make video game. Who gives a shit? They ain't got nothing to do with us. However, that's recently changed. And we see the positions that Insomniac took, giving money as well. $50,000, I believe, is what they committed to some abortion shit. And Bungie their CEO has basically said, no, we ain't gonna stop shutting up. So looking at this, it says, in a reaction to this, Bungie as a company declared that abortion is an essential healthcare right. This was what we read before, I believe. This is one that came out on May the 4th. It says that Bungie, we believe everyone has a right to choose their own path and that freedom is expressed across all facets of life. The leaked draft decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, this is a video game company, by the way, represents a blow to freedom in America, and it is a direct attack to human rights. And it says that by creating a divide between those who possess the fundamental right to make healthcare decisions, it's funny that you call killing a child healthcare decisions and you just limit it to that as if there's nothing else to it. That are right for them and those who do not possess the same freedom. The decision should it become final, will have far-reaching consequences that will be felt for generations across socioeconomic lines. Bungie is committing to safeguarding the freedom and privacy of its employees and providing support for employees affected by the decision. Standing up for reproductive choice and liberty is not a difficult decision to make. Bungie, you don't stand for fucking liberty at all. In fact, your chicken shit ass doubled down as the other side. Well, not the other side. It's the same side of people actually that would hold up the Black Lives Matter and all that pronouns in the bio that really authorize businesses all across America in the summer of love in 2020 being burnt to the motherfucking ground. You didn't actually say anything against that. In fact, if anything, you condoned it by committing to these different acts, and now you got all these diversity of hires and departments, and what was it, Bungie is black, or what was that? I can't remember what it is that we covered and all of that. That was your response to it. You were too chicken shit to come out and say, well, Even if we do believe what happened with George Floyd was fucked up, you shouldn't be burning down fucking people's private property that has nothing to do with it. You don't give a shit about liberty. And that happened to a very, very large degree all across the nation. You did nothing. You said nothing about it. And this isn't me saying that you should have said something about it. It was that we see what side of the aisle that you are on in regards to social issues. So trying to pay lip service to concepts of liberty, we don't believe you. You need more people. If you would like to donate to an organization that supports rights to health care, these are the few that you might consider. And in this is what Bungie says. They want you to give money to Pro-Choice America Foundation and all these other people that support baby killing in the womb. And this is, again, what I was talking about Jim Ryan. And it says, we owe it to each other and PlayStation's millions of users to respect the differences of opinion along everyone in the internal and external communities. That statement right there with Jim Ryan, he's basically saying, look, people that use our material, play our games, and as well as work for us are on different sides of the aisle regarding this issue. Y'all should at least respect each other. It's basically saying PlayStation ain't taking a fucking side in this argument. People under Sony and the big Sony umbrella took issue with that, and Insomniac took issue with that as an example. And let me see what. Hold on. Let me continue on. Following the news, the fact that Sony Interactive Entertainment announced back in January they were acquiring Bungie, says the YouTuber reacted to Bungie's response, blah, blah, blah. And he said, and that asked the company, can we just stick to making video games? Bungie replied, never. It's going to really suck if Sony put a muzzle on Bungie in the future and stop them from doing actual hero shit like this. That's what Skill Up said. Skill Up, who I know some of y'all are fans of his reviews and shit. I think he's one of the most overrated fucking content creators, certainly in that space. But look, man, that's a niche thing, and that's his space. Probably if he says fuck off to me as well, whatever. I mean, we ain't supposed to just love each other or anything like that. But apparently standing up for baby killing is actual hero shit, according to Skill Up. You can see that right now there. And this is the Twitter in which Bungie themselves, so this isn't he say, she say shit. Bungie themselves is coming out and saying on Twitter where they stand on this issue, and they're saying never. And this is what the senior community manager, Dylan Gaffner of Bungie, said in response to Skill Up's tweet, where he says it would be basically ashamed if PlayStation put a muzzle and wouldn't allow Bungie. And if the PlayStation weren't retarded, that's exactly what they would do. They would say, hey, Bungie, you make video games. Shut the fuck up. Like, if y'all individuals have different political positions, whatever. But as a company, just make fucking video games. And this is what the senior community manager said. I admit I'm just a community manager in the grand scheme, but I'm confident in the following. We are and we will continue to be Bungie. There will never be a muzzle big enough to stop us for standing up for what's right. Man, fuck Bungie, man. Like, at the end of the day. Again, if y'all want to use y'all's company, like, to do stuff like that, you're just drawing your line in the sand. These are very divisive topics, right? Very divisive topics. I think you're taking the wrong side of the position. But this is why it's not about authorizing or co-signing how I feel about shit. Because if you took my side, then you would come out as basically anti-baby killing. But I'm not expecting you to do that. I just want you to shut the fuck up and make video games. That's it. That's it. Like, again, this isn't about the individuals. The individuals within the companies that work for the companies want to have their own political and social views by all means, whatever. We can argue and disagree, but that's not what's happening here. What's happening here is that you are using the video game brand in order to perpetuate your views, essentially. That's what's happening. That's the problem. That's the fundamental issue with what's going on. That is that you're using that to perpetuate and advance these social and political causes that we don't fucking support. A lot of us don't support, but you are too. It's not stupid. They're cocky. That's all that it is. Let's be real. It's the argument and the position, the same position that I have with Disney and stuff. It's not. They're not coming out and saying this not just because, let's say, those efforts have been advanced. No, it's that they're cocky enough to believe that taking this position is going to have no economic ramification. That's it. So they're saying, like, look, you're not going to do anything about it. So we might as well come out and support whatever. Once they start being punished economically, that's when they start to shut the fuck up. But right now, they take advantage of the political enemy's approach. And often folks that are on our side of the aisle don't care about that sort of stuff in regards to products. The left absolutely cares about that stuff. Like I've mentioned, when you have us like that are in entertainment spaces, they do not fund us. You're not going to catch these uber progressives buying backwards albums. That's not going to happen. They're not going to be signing up for memberships at the Daily Wire. Left isn't signing up for Blaze Network. That's not what they do. That's not how they operate. They find out that you are among them, they get you out of there, like Gina Carano. That's how they handle the other side. But our side is always trying to make excuses for why we must consume their shit. So it's different ideologically, and they take advantage of that. So it basically is saying, or they think, well, y'all not going to do shit anyway. We're still going to put out whatever, Destiny 2 shit, whatever, and y'all still going to buy this shit. You still going to play it. Once that attitude changes, we will see an overhaul in the entertainment industry, period. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.